Hey plugin, it's Matt here. Today we're going to be looking at this Toucan Outdoor Security Surveillance Kit by Kuna, promising things like easy installation, two-way communication, light control, durable design, and a siren alarm. This thing is weatherproof, so that means that you can stick it outside, and as you can see, it fits onto a light fixture. Let's take a look at this and let's get this installed.
Okay, so let's unbox this thing first. Opening the box, you can see the main Toucan surveillance camera itself, followed by the base unit. This actually screws into the light fixture and acts as a power source for the camera. More on that later. I should add right now that you can't put this on a motion sensor light and should be putting it on a single light outdoor fixture. Now we've got the rest of the tools of the trade here, including mounting equipment and a really small Allen key. If you ever throw away the contents of this box after installation, do not throw away that Allen key. You can refer to the manual. I know it's kind of spelled wrong there, but honestly, installation is pretty straightforward if you piece together how this must work. Okay, as you can see, I'm looking around for a place to put this. Here's the box which shows the way things should be mounted. As you can see, my front lights are all pot lights. You can't really use pot lights for this. The base only supports a max 40 watt light LED, and the angle of the camera is such that you can't position it to look straight down. We're out of luck here, so let's try the backyard. Okay, so I found a fixture in the backyard. Let's take this thing apart and start installation. What I'm going to do is remove the light bulb and screw the base in. Alright, so I've got the base screwed in, and now let's put the bulb back in and see if this works. I'm going to stop right here and say that it didn't. You may have seen that my fixture has a weather sleeve over top the socket. This means that the Toucan won't install because the base needs to be flush to the socket and it's too wide to fit. I'm going to skip the part where I cried like Ricky Schroeder at the end of the champ and fast forward a few days later to my mom's house. The fixture I'm using here isn't ideal because the bulb sits upward, which makes it more difficult for you to work the USB wiring through, so from here on in, I'm really just showing this to you for the purpose of following along with me on the installation. So first I'm going to install the base here. Now I'm going to put the light bulb back in. As you can see here, because of the size of the base, the light bulb is sitting a bit above the desired space. This is why I'm recommending that you install this on a downward hanging fixture that's shown on the box and leaves a fair bit of room for you to do this. You'll see how this kind of fixture affects the wiring too. So here are all the other parts involved. The Toucan base itself has an adhesive backing for the purpose of temporary placement, but no matter what you're putting this into, you should really be screwing it for a permanent fix. You might also have to get creative with wire hiding if you're installing on siding like this, since the silicone sleeve is rigid and you can't really do much to bend or twist it. Okay, there's the USB cord, so I'm going to hook it up to the camera piece and then mount it to the wall. This part is a little bit harder than it looks. Even if you spool your leftover wire into the camera, mounting it can be tough because it's really hard to slide it back onto its base without doing some accidental damage or chewing to the wire. Okay, cut out the Ricky Schroeder bit here, and here's how it looks in the end. Again, not so ideal because I'm not using the most desired fixture type, and that actually means the silicone sleeving, again, it won't work because I've got too long of wiring now to sleeve it. It'll actually require some trickery and probably a little bit of drilling holes in the siding and feeding the wires through to properly hide it. From here, all you need to do is register and sync up the device within the Kuna app. It's about a 5-minute process, and then you need to sync the camera up with your Wi-Fi network. Be sure that you always keep this fixture on because it constantly needs power to work. You can now control the light itself with your phone as a functioning smart switch. Here's what the live feed looks like. As you can see, the camera placement is also a little bit of work in progress, and it looks like I needed to shift it up a little bit, so that's what I did. A couple last notes here as we close out. Toucan does send you notifications the moment it senses motion, and you can check out and act on them in real time. In fact, I stood out in front of the camera for a little while watching myself on the phone, and there actually wasn't that much latency at all. The two-way communication is very much in real time, but it's also impossible for me to show it to you without creating a feedback loop for the audio. Just know that it works really well. So my final thoughts on this are that the Toucan surveillance system is alright overall, but you've got to meet a lot of conditions to make this work out of the box, and you might want to look at your options beforehand. If you're in for some of the situations that I was in during this install, you might want to look at traditional security cameras because it may just work a little bit better. But if this works for you, it is basically a 15-minute install for a two-way communicating security device with cloud storage, and that's really hard to argue with. The Toucan surveillance system is now available at Best Buy and online at bestbuy.ca.